In this video, you will learn how to solve different math problems to prepare for the ACT exam. Points B and C lie on segment AD as shown below. The length of segment AD is 25 units. The segment AC is 19 units long, and the segment BD is 14 units long. How many units long, if it can be determined, is the segment BC? So we're given here the length of segment AD, AC, and BD, and we are asked to find the length of segment BC. Now let's try analyzing this figure here. So we're given here that the length of AC, let me change that, is equal to 19. Then BD is equal to 14. And in addition, these points are along segment AD. The AC, this one, and BD. BD is this one in purple. Now when adding segment AC and BD, segment BC here, this one, is the intersection of segment AC and segment BD. Therefore, the sum of the lengths of AC, so AC and BD, is just the same as the sum of the lengths of AD plus BC. Alright, let's write that here. So the sum of the lengths of AC and BD is just the same as or equal to the sum of the lengths of AD and BC. And now let's substitute the actual lengths in AC plus BD equals AC plus BC. So we're given here that AC is 19, and then BD is 14, then AD is 25, and segment BC is unknown. Now we can solve for segment BC. 19 plus 14 is 33 equals 25 plus BC. Then we subtract 25 from both sides. This cancels out. Therefore, BC is just equal to 8. So segment BC is 8 units long. Therefore, the answer here is letter H. What expression must the center cell of the table below contain so that the sums of each row and each column are equivalent? All right, we're given here a table, and it says that the sums of each row and each column are equivalent. So that means if we add up the terms from one column, that would be equivalent to the sum of the terms in the second column, and the same as in the third column, as well as the rows. So let's add up the terms in rows 1 and 2. So for row 1, right, this one, we have negative 4x plus 9x plus 2x. They are like terms, so we just have to add up the coefficients. So we have negative 4 plus 9, which is positive 5, plus 2, that is 7. So the sum of row 1 is 7x. Now let's add up the terms in row 2. So row 2 is 7x plus, we don't know this, right? We don't know that. Plus negative, alright, so it should be minus 3x. Plus negative 3x is minus 3x. And this should be equal to 7x. Right? Because it says the sum of each row is equivalent. So this is just 7x minus 3x equals 7x. Oh, hold on. Okay, let's not equate this to 7x yet, not yet. All right, so we have 7x minus 3x, which is 4x. And it is given that the sum of the rows is equivalent, so this should be equal to, the sum of the terms in row 2 should also be equal to 7x. But then we have one term that is missing here, and when we add up 7x and negative 3x, that would result to 4x. So that means we just have to subtract 4x from 7x, and this would give us 3x. Therefore, the missing term here is 3x. So the answer here is letter G. You can also try the columns here. You can check. All right, so negative 4x plus 7x plus 4x. 4x cancels out, so you have 7x. And then 9x plus 3x, that is 12x minus 5x, and that is also equal to 7x. Point A is to be graphed in a quadrant, not on an axis of the standard xy coordinate plane below. If the x coordinate and the y coordinate of point A are to have the same signs, then point A must be located in. So in here we are asked to find the coordinate, or no, the quadrant where point A belongs to. And it says here, if the x coordinate and y coordinate of point A have the same signs. So that means could be positive, positive, or negative, negative. Okay, positive, positive, then negative, negative. Now let's take a look at the coordinate plane here, and we have 4 quadrants. For the first quadrant, the value of x and y here are both positive. And for the second quadrant, the value of x here is negative while y is positive. And for the third one, they're both negative, negative, negative. And for the fourth one, the value of x here is positive while y is negative. Therefore, point A must be located in quadrant 1 and quadrant 3. So the answer here is letter E. What is the x-coordinate of the point in the standard xy coordinate plane at which the two lines y equals negative 2x plus 7 and y equals 3x minus 3 intersect? Now to find the x-coordinate where the lines with these equations, given equations, intersect, we just have to set the two equations equal to each other to solve for the value of x. So we can equate negative 2x plus 7 and 3x minus 3. So we subtract 7 from both sides. Then we have negative 2x equals 3x minus 10. Then we subtract 3x from both sides. Then we have negative 2x minus 3x is negative 5x equals negative 10. Then we divide both sides by negative 5. Then our x is just equal to negative 10 divided by negative 5, which is just 2. So the value of x here is equal to 2, and that is the x coordinate of the point at which the two lines intersect. Therefore, the answer here is letter D. The length L in meters of a spring is given by the equation L equals 2/3 F plus 0.05, where F is the applied force in newtons. Approximately what force in newtons must be applied for the spring's length to be 0.23 meters. Now, to find the force F in newtons corresponding to the spring length, which is given as 0.23 meters, now we substitute that one to the given equation or formula. So this is L equals 2/3 F plus 0.05. Then we plug in 0.023 to L. So 0.23 equals 2/3 F plus 0.05. Then we subtract 0.05 from both sides. Then this cancels out. This should be 0.23. Right. So 0.23 minus 0.05 is just 0.18 equals 2/3 F. And then we divide both sides by 2/3. Right. So we have 0.18 equals 2/3 F. We divide both sides by 2/3. Right. And this cancels out. Therefore, F is just 0.18 over 2/3. And then we flip 2/3. This would become 0.18 times 3 over 2. And this is just equal to 0.54 over 2, or F is just equal to 0.27. So the answer here is letter K. The larger of two numbers exceeds 3 times the smaller number by 4. The sum of twice the larger number and 4 times the smaller number is 58. If x is the smaller number, which equation below determines the correct value of x? So we're given here mathematical sentences, and we need to write them into a mathematical equation. So it's given here that x is the smaller number, then we can let y be the larger number. Alright, now let's interpret the first mathematical sentence first. It says here that the larger of two numbers, which is y, exceeds. Exceeds is the same as more than. Okay, 3 times, okay, would be equal to, exceeds 3 times the smaller number by 4. So 3 times the smaller number is x, and exceeds by 4. So that is our first equation. Then our second equation would be this one, the second mathematical sentence. So this, it says here that the sum of twice the larger number, so twice the larger number, which is y, then sum, we add, and 4 times the smaller number, so 4 times x is, that is equal to 58. Alright, now we already have two equations here since we have two unknowns, x and y, but we are only asked for, no, we are asked for the equation that determines the correct value of x. Now to solve for x here, the value of x, we must get rid of y. So that means, since we are given here that the value of y is equal to 3x plus 4, then we just have to substitute this one, 3x plus 4, to y in the second equation. So this would become 2 times 3x plus 4 plus 4x equals 58. All right. So this equation here determines how to solve the correct value of x. Let's take a look at the options here. So from the option here, we have letter J. So the answer is letter J.